So, this is very exciting. Two poets. The first will be Cindi Albers.
Thank you, Pat. And she is a terrific landlady, by the way. So if you guys ever want to rent some from her, I recommend it. Okay, the first couple, I wanted to do some things on my dad, because my dad was very important in my life, and he really did support my writing a lot. This first one I just wrote not too long ago. I don't have a name for it.
Excuse me, can the video pick up her sound?
Can you pick up my sound?
Talk more into the mic.
I can talk more.
Yeah, put your mouth right against it. Thanks.
He crouched over his walker. The click-clack as it lifted. An eternity passes as he slides his feet behind. His peanut butter words stuck to the roof of his mouth, trying to push them out as his tongue sticks and fights. His hands shook like his life out of control. No longer allowed speed or privacy or being ignored. Going to the bathroom, a planned parade. A shower, an attended to event. His body, a fierce, dark demon entrapping his mind. Behind an unspoken wall of anxious waiting, each moment became planned and slow. Step, clack, wait while the brain thinks to move the leg. Sometimes we would lift it for him, so it would remember how it was done. Hallucinations abounded. He examined for reality and not. Was his wife really cheating? Was there really a truck in the living room? Did he really need to get the neighbors to call the police? In his mangled body and lunatic brain, his spirit soared, determined to fly, laughing at his frailty, chuckling at his lunacy. His heart grew wise, a mystic, a Buddha, an all-knowing sage. A grand soul was born in 10 years of slow death. Okay, this next one is actually a short story. It's not a poem. It's along the same lines. It was actually about an afternoon with my dad, and it just won 19th place in the 10th annual Writer's Digest short story. So this is its first performance from written as published. I'm so excited. All right. This is called Our Afternoon Together. I sat at the computer across the living room, mindlessly playing games with no point. Out of the corner of my eye, I watched my father stand with the help of his walker, teetering slightly until he found his balance. He used the walker to hold himself, a slow step and a push, and another slow step and a push. He moved slowly but deliberately into the library, scanning for his treasure, barely avoiding the rug that refused to lie flat. He found it, a simple red, white, and black book titled The 9 Roads to Wealth. Book in hand, he adjusted his step to make up for the book, holding it precariously until he reached his chair. Slowly he turned, using the walker to keep him steady, taking tiny steps because his feet didn't like to turn. He dropped himself down, the book held tight. His hair, once full and black, was gray, limp, and almost gone. His face was long and pallid, the kind of pale white a dying man wears. He wore a very worn white t-shirt and gray pants. A regular shirt was too hard to put on and take off. The pants had to be held up by a sagging belt because of all the weight he had lost. His hands were shaking now, as they always did when he had done too much. He struggled to move the walker to the side, and he picked up the book, turning it around and around. He opened it, his shaking hands fumbling with each page, an eternity until the next page could be grasped, held, and moved. Each page was scanned quickly at a snail's pace, looking, reading. His wire-rimmed bifocals looked foreign on him, so unlike the thick black plastic-rimmed ones he had worn for a lifetime. Finding the page, the idea that held him, took most of the afternoon. His hands grew tired, but he kept searching, looking for the idea he wanted to share with me. He read until he fell asleep, his head dangling frontward unnaturally, his mouth wide open, and the book now fallen to his side. When he woke up, he looked around like a child waking up in a strange place without its mother. He didn't seem to know where he was or how he got there. After seeing me and focusing on the room again, he sat in silence, staring at the wall and the television that no one ever turned off. He sat motionless for the longest time until all at once he stood up without the walker and attempted to rock across the room. I hurried to his side to support his arm. "Where are you going, Daddy?" I asked. He fought me the way a leaf fights a tree. "Daddy, you can't walk, remember? Let me get your walker. Where do you want to go? Do you need to go to the bathroom? Let me get Mom." "I need to call the police," he said matter-of-factly, his body tightening in frustration at being held still. "The police? Why do you need to call the police?" He looked at me now with blank eyes. I eased him back into the chair. "I need to report that truck." "What truck, Daddy?" "The red pickup. The one over there." He pointed to the wall. "The one with those men in it. They're up to no good." "Dad, there is no truck." He looked at me and looked at the wall. Then he laughed. "I've been watching that truck all day," he said, his eyes dancing. "There's no truck?" "No, Daddy. You're seeing things again." "I guess I am. It sure looked real." He sat back down, chuckled for a moment, and returned to watching television, every once in a while gazing at the wall, keeping a very close eye on those men and the red truck. He would keep me safe. I'm kind of proud of that one. Okay. This is a poem I wrote in college, like 2000, the year 2000, 2001. It's called Floating. What is it about you makes me want to run, to fold up into a little cloud and float away, to run into a tunnel and spit in the dark? I ask myself this when I glimpse your soul in a moment of insanity. I wonder how you make me feel so friendless, like a hungry tiger on an African tundra. Do tigers even live in Africa? You make me ask myself questions like why I forget to water my plants, why I wear a porcelain mask in the morning, why I can't seem to hold on to my keys when I'm in a hurry. Is it love? Can I ask a question so loaded? Big, foamy, marshmallow word, a cream puff of sweetness. You're a weasel in blue jeans. Moonlight shimmering in broad daylight. You're a gross miscalculation in the plan of my life. That cracks you up. Sweet man confusing me so. Our friendship rides the winds of chance. Sometimes I wish I could fold into your arms and fly away on a magic carpet, Scotch-guarded, a Polaroid moment, a Kodak picture spot. Then I see the truth. The scenery is painted, the film crew goes home. You are just a man, tender, frightening, the way a good man should be. And I float away in a dreamland of wishing and wanting, wondering where this lunacy will take me. Floating. Okay, I like to plagiarize myself. So there were a couple lines. Hey, if I'm going to do it. There was a couple lines in that poem that I really liked. And so this recently came out from that poem. All right. Did you get permission? A little bit. Yeah. I did. I had sat down and had a contract made with myself that I get all rights. Okay. Damn. There it is again. Freaking creamy, marshmallow-filled, chocolate-covered, candy-coated, a cream puff of sweetness, sickening sweet word, love. How did this happen? I wasn't looking for it, wasn't planning it, wasn't even on my agenda. I am responsible. I pay my bills, go to work on time. Well, mostly. I am sensible. How did this happen again? What did I do? No, I didn't do anything. It was you. Your fault. You did this with that smile of yours, the one like moonbeams or stardust or frickin' sunshine. Or that sweet laugh, that ha-ha as you throw your head back laughing at my jokes. It's the way you look at me with those eyes, those soulful, crappy eyes that melted my heart. Freaking god-awful marshmallow words sticking to my mouth, creating cavities in my brilliant common sense. I know where this will end too. Nowhere, of course. Heartache, pain, anguish, suffering, all because of one stupid emotion in the pit of my stomach when I think about you and your perfect body and your perfect mind and your perfect soul. Fine, just freaking fine, that insane, ridiculous, isn't life beautiful feeling? Who really needs it? Why would I want it? Just every day for the rest of my life. And it's your fault. It's you. Just stop it. Quit being so wonderful. Can't you just be horrible, say something obnoxious, pick your nose, forget to brush your teeth for a week or two? Help me out. No more flippin' happiness, okay? That annoying, oh God, I love seeing you, love talking to you, flippin' foamy marshmallow word. Here I had a perfectly good, uneventful, uncomplicated life. Now I'm singing in the shower, happy to be alive. You took a perfectly good life and shook it all to hell, like a God-sanctioned earthquake. I wouldn't screw you even if you asked. Well, okay, maybe just every day for the rest of our lives. No, I won't do it. No more foamy marshmallow words, no more I love yous, I need yous, I want yous. No, I am not going there unless. No, not even if you said you felt it too. No, not even then. Sickening sweet marshmallow word, cavities and scents, candy coated. I love you. I said it. But that's where it ends, I swear. That one is, damn. Actually, it has no title either.
Damn love.
That's a great poem.
I hate it.
It had everything.
Thank you, thank you.
That might be a good title, Damn Love.
Damn love, yeah, that would. All right,
You plagiarized me on that one.
thank you. This next one, I'm going to blame Pat and Karen for this poem. Karen read one of her poems about the liquid sunshine. Well, Pat was taking me home that night and making this thing about she couldn't understand what liquid sunshine was. So we started Facebooking back and forth, and this is the poem that came from my end. I don't know what her end was, but this is my end. The sun licked my back, its sticky saliva clinging to my sour skin. It tickles me into a gentle smile. It mixes with the mangoes and plumeria, and I breathe in hot fruit punch. Replacing yesterday's putrid memory, I allow it to drip across my body, its tongue silky and wet. I become drenched in its moistness. As I bathe in its aromatic rays, I lift my face towards it. It kisses my lips, my nose, my cheeks, until my face turns fiery crimson. Its aura refreshes me, and I am renewed.
Wow. I need a shower.
Her version is much better, by the way.
Bad influence.
She really is.
Yeah,
She really is.
you two that close together could create real problems.
Yes, we could. All right. This one I wrote the other day. It's my Alice in Wonderland poem. I wanted to go down the rabbit hole on a dare within. I stomped my foot, enlarged myself, and set off with a grin. I slid way down the shaft of all. I entered caverns lost. I crawled into a spider's web, and melodious rivers crossed. I opened doors and peered inside, amazed at monsters' roar. I calmed my grace in sweetest wine that seeped into my pores. I rode the bird of solitude. I scampered wits in war. I spent my nights in satin sheets, making love to dreams afar. I stood face to face with witches' brew. I spent my love unwise. I scattered ash into the wind and plastered common lies. I wanted to go as far as there was and see what I would see. Instead, I found that all along, the rabbit hole was me.
Plenty of.
All right.